Welcome to Midnight Signal AI. It's March 8th, 2026, and we're back with 10 minutes of the latest in artificial intelligence. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Tonight, a brain-inspired memory layer for AI agents, Luma's Uni 1 model outpaces the competition, doubts about Gulf states as AI superpowers, and new tools for monitoring and managing AI agents. Plus, why some say old-school internet felt more meaningful than today's AI-driven feeds. Let's get started.
Our lead story comes from Hacker News. Engram, a new open-source project, aims to give AI agents a memory more like the human brain. Created by the developer behind Softmax Data, Engram is a persistent context layer for LLMs and multi-agent systems. The idea is to solve a common headache, context collapse, by storing knowledge incrementally and reconstructing context on demand, rather than replaying endless chat logs or relying solely on summarization.
That's a big deal for anyone working with large language models. Context collapse isn't just annoying, it can break entire workflows, especially when multiple agents are collaborating. What's interesting here is the human memory inspiration. Instead of just stacking or pruning tokens, Engram strengthens related concepts and lets memories reinforce each other. The system is open source and, from what I've seen, designed to be modular and persistent. It can make agent swarms and complex LLM apps way more reliable.
Exactly. And with the recent surge in multi-agent orchestration, tools like Engram could become foundational. It's early days, but if the approach catches on, it might change how we architect memory for AI, moving away from brute force context windows towards richer, more resilient memory layers. For developers or teams scaling agentic workflows, this could be a game changer.
And as models get bigger and context windows keep expanding, having a more human-like reconstructible memory could also help with privacy and compliance. Instead of storing everything, you keep what matters most and reconstruct the rest as needed. Smart move. Let's keep an eye on Engram's adoption.
Switching gears to generative models, Luma Labs has released Uni 1, its latest image model, and according to Hacker News, it's outperforming the popular Nano-banana 2. Luma claims Uni 1 sets a new bar for photorealistic generation and fine detail, and the online demos are already making the rounds.
The image model space is getting crowded, but Luma's Uni 1 is getting attention for its speed as well as output quality. What's striking is how quickly these models are leapfrogging each other. Nano-banana 2 was the darling of the scene just a few months ago. For designers, marketers, and anyone making digital content, the bar for what's possible keeps rising. I'm curious to see how much of Uni 1's tech will make it into open source or commercial APIs.
And it underscores how competitive the image generation space is becoming. With every new release, users get more power, but also more decisions, figuring out which model fits their workflow and ethics. Luma's move will push others to innovate even faster, so expect the pace of image AI progress to keep accelerating. On a more serious note, The Guardian is reporting that recent drone strikes in the Gulf region are raising doubts about the area's ambitions to become an AI superpower. The article highlights that data centers, critical for AI infrastructure, are increasingly seen as potential military targets, forcing governments to consider missile defense for their tech assets.
That's a sobering reminder that AI development isn't just about algorithms and data. Physical infrastructure matters, and it's vulnerable. The Gulf states have invested massively in AI, but if their data centers aren't secure, their status as global AI hubs could be at risk. This could also accelerate a trend towards decentralization and edge computing, as companies look for ways to reduce exposure to geopolitical risks.
It's a wake-up call for the whole industry. As AI becomes more central to national strategies, data centers and compute clusters become high-value targets. The interplay between physical security and digital innovation is only going to get more complex. Now, over to the business side. OpenAI has published a new piece outlining the 5 value models driving business reinvention with AI. The article breaks down how companies are capturing value through different approaches, ranging from automation and augmentation to entirely new business models enabled by generative AI.
It's worth reading if you're trying to make sense of where the ROI is in all this. The 5 models, automation, augmentation, new products, AI platforms, and AI-native business creation, help frame the conversation. What's striking is how fast companies are moving from just automating existing workflows to building products and services that wouldn't be possible without AI. The landscape is evolving, and if you're not thinking about reinvention, you're probably falling behind.
Exactly. AI isn't just another IT upgrade. It's forcing companies to rethink what they do and how they deliver value. The OpenAI piece is a good map for anyone looking to understand the new business playbook. Speaking of agent management, there's a new Show HN project, Agentlytics. It lets you see detailed stats from all your AI coding agents across 14 editors, completely locally. It tracks session counts, estimated costs, conversation searches, and even lets you share stats in a privacy-friendly way.
That's incredibly useful, especially as more developers jump between tools like Copilot, Claude Code, and Cursor. Without visibility, you can rack up big bills or lose track of what's happening under the hood. Agentlytics keeps everything local, which is a big plus for privacy. It's another sign that as AI agents become more integrated into daily workflows, observability and control are becoming must-haves, not nice-to-haves.
And it's not just about tracking usage. Having one dashboard for all your agent sessions can help teams optimize which tools actually deliver value and spot issues before they spiral. It's a smart addition to the AI Dev Toolkit. On the monitoring front, there's a related discussion on Hacker News about production observation for AI agents. The post points out recent incidents, like database wipes by Claude Code and accidental deletions by Replit agents, that happened because nobody was watching what the agents were actually doing step by step. There's now an SDK called Agent Shield that promises execution tracing, risk detection, and cost tracking for AI agents in production.
That's crucial. As AI agents get more autonomy, the risks multiply, especially in production systems. Tracking every action, logging token usage, and having a proper audit trail can make the difference between a minor glitch and a major disaster. Tools like Agent Shield are going to become standard as organizations realize that agent observability is as important as application monitoring in the cloud era.
And with more companies experimenting with autonomous agents, the need for transparency and auditability grows. If you can't see what your agent did, you can't trust or improve it. Expect observability to be a core part of the next wave of AI infrastructure.
Switching to the creative side, a developer just demoed a pipeline that uses AI to generate an entire 22-minute comedy podcast from a trending topic, end to end. It combines Gemini for script writing, 11 Labs for voices, and Temporal for workflow orchestration. The result? 3 AI characters riffing on the news, completely automated, right down to music and Spotify publishing.
That's wild. We've seen AI-generated podcasts before, but automating the whole pipeline, including punch-up, verification, and publishing, is a new level. It's a glimpse of how AI can scale creative content, for better or worse. The upside is more experimentation and accessibility. The downside is the risk of flooding platforms with cookie-cutter content. Still, it's impressive how far the tech has come.
Absolutely. And it raises questions about the future of media. If anyone can spin up a show with a prompt, what happens to originality and voice? It's going to be an interesting space to watch. On a philosophical note, a Hacker News essay is making the rounds. Why the internet built for friends felt more meaningful than AI. The piece argues that early social platforms, think Orkut, old Facebook, and early YouTube, were about connecting with real people, not building audiences or fighting the algorithm. With AI now shaping so much of what we see online, some are wondering if we've lost something essential.
It's a compelling argument. The original promise of the internet was about relationships and shared experiences. Now, with AI curating feeds and incentivizing engagement, the human element can feel diluted. There's a nostalgia for the days when online spaces felt smaller, more authentic, and less algorithm-driven. It's not anti-AI, but a call to remember what made the web meaningful in the first place.
Great reminder that as we build smarter systems, we shouldn't lose sight of human connection. Balancing automation with authenticity is a challenge for the next generation of platforms. That wraps up today's Midnight Signal AI. We covered brain-inspired agent memory, the race in image models, geopolitical risks to AI infrastructure, business reinvention, new tools for agent monitoring, fully automated creative pipelines, and even a bit of digital nostalgia.
As always, if you want to dig deeper, check the links in the show notes. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, analysis, and context on the fast-moving world of AI.
This has been your Midnight Signal. See you in 24 hours.